tag us.
We're live.
Woo!
All right.
Hi,
everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us. I have some incredible, beautiful boss babes that are extremely talented, and have all created, they've used their purpose and their passion to drive something and create something that they can work from home and develop a business that they can work from home. And they've helped others achieve that as well. And so excited to be able to have them each join us and share with us who they are, what they're about, and to give you some insight into what they've generated and created. And hopefully that it inspires you to do the same. So I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves first. So if we want to start, Anna, do you want to start?
Yes, well, I'm Anna Lozano. Hi, everyone. I am a mom of two. I'm an ex-corporate professional, so I worked in corporate marketing and corporate sales for a good 5 years until I realized I was completely burned out and completely not living in alignment with my passion and purpose. And I jumped into entrepreneurship in 2010. There's my husband walking behind. He jumped down. And I jumped into network marketing in 2010. So actually this month, 10 years ago. So it's been an incredible journey building an entrepreneurial career. I also launched another company in the process called Love Powered Co, where we create affirmations. So all about mindset and positivity. So such an incredible experience to date. And I just would never go back to someone else being my boss. Yeah. Who is next? Are you guys laughing at my husband?
No, I think that's great, Anna. Christa, why don't you go next?
Absolutely. My name is Christa Realba. I am in small town Ontario, but I'm still a city girl at heart. I started, I guess I've been completely self-employed now for well over a decade, and it's been so incredible for myself and for my family raising our two boys. So I have two boys, and it's just been such a blessing to really to live our values and to help other people just live in alignment. And I've been advocating for wellness and for health and for living your life on your own terms. It's been such an incredible journey. I'm having a blast.
Great. And what a beautiful journey, and all the different things that you've created as part of this journey. So very good. Elisa.
Hi. Well, what an honor to be here with you, incredible women. So kind of like the stories Anna and Christa have shared, I also about 10 years ago, almost, it'll be 10 years in December, that I transitioned from a full-time dental hygienist and into the entrepreneurial world. And for me, it was similar to what these incredible women are sharing. I was looking for more congruency in my life, and as a way to just feel that I was living a bit more in harmony with what was most important to me and my family. And then as a result of that, it really opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibility. And from there, it was about how can I impact and how can I make a really great sort of positive difference in the lives of others. So 10 years and just so grateful for this journey. Yeah, so I'm excited to share a little more with you guys.
That's good, very good. And Natalie.
Yes, hi. I'm so honored as well to be with you guys on this live. I'm Natalie. I'm from Quebec, and I live in the country with my hubby, Denis, and our furry little puppy that we love. And I've been an entrepreneur for now 17 years. And I was in the corporate world a little bit like Anna, I got burnout, and I was looking for something more meaningful. And I started my entrepreneur journey part-time. And today I totally changed the way I see things, the way I do things. And I'm a full-time entrepreneur, also with my husband. So that has been something amazing. And I'm just grateful every day for this life and for everything that being an entrepreneur brought to me as a person and to our family. So
Yeah, very good. And I loved your French accent. So as you said, I'm entrepreneur. I need to work on mine. I love that. Shelly, let's have you go.
Hi guys, I am Shelly Boda. I'm in Toronto. I am a mom of 2 little kids, 5 and 7. And I've actually been in the entrepreneur industry for 16 or 17 years now. I started in fashion marketing and fashion design. And what I just love to do is I love to build businesses, and I love to support other entrepreneurs in building their businesses. So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I really just help them see the benefits of entrepreneurship, and I help them understand how developing layers and layers into their business can allow them to tap into so much more creativity and allow them to bring passion projects to life that they can actually live off of. So that's what we've been doing for many years over here.
I love that. I love that because there's so many individuals that have a passion out there, or they're trying to identify their passion. And the fact that all of you have been able to help people find that passion and then turn it into something where they're actually generating an income, I think is just phenomenal. You know, so the many years that I've had the opportunity, the beautiful opportunity to be able to partner with all of you at USANA, it is just, I mean, it's been such a blessing for me. I mean, each one of you are such a light, and you have, I mean, as we talked about, you've just helped so many individuals and empowered them to create this entrepreneur journey for themselves. And so I really admire all of you greatly for that. So what made you say yes when you were introduced to USANA?
Okay, I can start again. So for me, I think it was just this clarity from a young age. I was raised in an immigrant family. Then my parents worked really hard. I came to Canada when I was 6 years old, and it was just really instilled in me to work hard, follow the traditional path, go to a great school, get a great job, eventually retire with a pension. And so that's what I did because I didn't know any other reality. And so when I entered the corporate world, I just realized it was not for me. You know, sitting there in these meetings where nothing ever was accomplished, I just felt there was so much more work that needed to be done in the world. And I just felt that there was greater impact and greater purpose that I wanted to tap into. And so when USANA specifically was introduced to me, I thought, you know what is the risk? The benefit is I'm going to get super healthy, and this could turn into a big business for myself and my family. And so obviously the yes was a part-time yes. I was working full-time, building the side hustle in 2010, but very quickly for me, it turned into a full-time thing. And so, you know, you just never know. I feel like what we're growing through right now, the opportunity we've been gifted is to really sit within and find clarity. Because if there are areas in our life right now that are not fueling our souls, it's okay to declutter them. It's okay to let them go and truly live life in alignment, which I feel like all of us are going to use this word.
I think that's spot on, Anna. I love that.
Oh, amazing. So why did I say yes?
Yes.
Well, I was 25 years old. I was super hardworking and like ready to just do whatever it took to be successful and make an awesome life for myself. But I wasn't seeing any really great models of the people who were successful, meaning they had the titles, or, you know, they had made a name for themselves. They weren't really living lives that I was like, I don't know if I actually want that, because they looked tired and, you know, they were kind of cranky. So when I went to this event in Toronto that was just so life-changing, it was a women's symposium of wealth and wellness. and all of these speakers. And I was just like this wide-eyed, young woman. And I was just like, what? Like, what is all this? And I asked everyone, I said, who organized this event? I need to know. I had so many questions. And then I was introduced to a woman named Leanne Jacobs. And for the first time in my young adult life, I met someone that actually embodied the energy that I would want to be around and to become. So she just was really radiant in her health, but also very grounded and very inspiring. And I was like, I just want some of that. So I just like stuck to her like glue and said, show me a different path. And I was a very eager student. So when she shared with me USANA, I was like, I don't know what this is, but I am in because of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, that lighted path of that alignment.
Yes.
I think it's something that I think many people strive for. And I think what you're talking about is there are a lot of people out there that are very successful, but they're sacrificing other areas of their life in order to achieve that success. And they're not grounded. So I love that. Elisa, why did you say yes to USANA?
I think we all are really resonating on the same vibe, but very similar. I came to that place in my life where super young, but still at a stage in my career that I kind of hit a brick wall with my health. I also was taking a closer look at our plan, like where we were heading in the next 10 years as a family. And things just, the pieces weren't connecting anymore for me. They just weren't. So I started to ask a lot of questions. I've always been a bit of a critical thinker. So I was like, let's see, this isn't adding up so well. Everything I've learned through the system, like formally, I just wasn't sure about anymore. So I started to dig deeper. I started to ask more questions. And interesting enough, I think that was the first phase of my life that I really took a close look at what I valued most. And health was like right at the top. And most people who've had a health crisis or a health challenge or a struggle will agree that all of a sudden nothing becomes more important than your health. You're like, okay, how do I get to the bottom of this? And I had always grown up in a home where we ate healthy, we ate home cooked meals. My brothers were athletes. So again, certain pieces of the puzzle were just not connecting. So I started to ask these questions. And as I got clear and I really dove, and I'm going to encourage everyone who's listening to this, take a really close look at introspectively, what matters most to you? Like, what does your value system really look like? And I don't think most of us do that through all the years of education. I don't think we actually sit down and look at like, what do I really, really value? Not based on old beliefs or what I've been told, but based on really what I believe. And then how do I support that and prioritize that in my life? And that's where it happened. It was like, okay, light bulb moment. Here's how I'm going to prioritize it. And when I aligned it with USANA as a vehicle, it was just beautiful. It was just like, yeah, this is all coming together. And it was like, all right, let's move forward. Yeah. Hope that helps.
No, good. Such timing is so important on this, but creating that visual, that plan, and really focusing and being intentional. And it sounds, I mean, you're all very intentional with what you're doing and the time that you spend, which I think is so important because so many people, I kind of say so many people spend time planning their vacation more than they spend the time planning their life. Mm-hmm. And you guys have all taken control of your life and being intentional with what you want to accomplish and achieve. So, Natalie.
Yes, our message is absolutely aligned for sure. That's why we're working together, right? So like I said, I come from corporate. I went through a burnout. So I was looking for a health solution, and I also wanted to build something for myself. You know, I started, like Elisa said, asking myself better questions, and I got really clear on the lifestyle I wanted. And I had to realize that the vehicle I had, which was my corporate career, would not bring me exactly where I wanted. So this opened my mind to start a business and being an entrepreneur. But the only model I had was the classic model, because I grew up in a family where my dad had a restaurant for almost 50 years. So it wasn't the type of business model I wanted to get involved with. So when I was introduced to USANA, like all the pieces came together: the health support, being an entrepreneur, being part of an uplifting community. Everything was like, wow. And I started part-time my USANA business. I kept my full-time job, and now 17 years later, I mean, the rest is history, but it's probably the best yes I said in my life, for sure.
Wow. Very cool. 17 years. You and I came in at the same time. 17 years. What a journey. Okay, Shelly.
So I started for a couple of reasons. One was because Christa told me it was a good idea. I'm just kidding. No, Christa and I actually met before USANA days in the fashion industry. And for about 5 years, I had my own clothing line and I worked in the fashion industry, and I loved being an entrepreneur. And it wasn't until my husband and I bought our first house downtown Toronto that I kind of felt like I needed to get a real job. So I got a corporate job that lasted me 12 months, but it was like going to university for 12 months or yeah, like 1 year of like the greatest learning of my life, because in those 12 months, I really realized that was exactly what I didn't want. I kind of felt like a little bit of a caged animal. I felt after 5 years of being my own boss, I felt really like I wasn't stimulated at all by the environment. And I actually remember coming home one day saying, like, I actually feel like it's making me feel a little bit, I don't want to say dumb, but like it's not stimulating me to be creative and think and innovative and all those things that I was so used to. So when I was introduced to USANA, a couple of the things that really I gravitated towards was the support, because working as an entrepreneur, it's very lonely sometimes when you're self-employed. And so I had experienced 5 years of being really lonely and celebrating my own successes, but not in a way where I was like celebrating it with other people. And so the community and the support and working just together with people on that were, like Vanna said, very aligned in the same way. It just really kind of lit a fire under me, thinking like, okay, I can still have the entrepreneurship part of it, but with all those pieces that were missing. And I can kind of weasel my way out of corporate because I wasn't really inspired by that environment. So I think it was really the community and the support and the people. I mean, look at you guys. How could you not want to work with you?
I look at what you guys have created, and I talk about being that light, but I think in times like this, like leadership really shines through, right? And I think because of the personal development and what you guys all touched on, the alignment, being able to work with like-minded individuals really has an impact in your overall success. And I think you guys have set yourself up exactly for, nobody expected to be where we're at right now, but where you guys are currently at in setting yourself up and others for success, especially during this time. I've got a few questions I want to ask you guys on this. So Anna, I think right now you talk about, you've got several different companies that you're part of USANA, you own your own online business. And why do you think right now is the best time to build an online business?
Yeah, such a great question. I feel like our conversation hasn't changed. When I started USANA in 2010, and, all of us have been in 2010 or longer, the conversation was always, create something online. Like USANA has always been an e-commerce business. The transactions happen online. So we've been talking about e-commerce business without saying e-commerce for years. And now we're seeing all of these companies and small businesses and established businesses having to pivot online because of what is happening. And so, we're feeling really blessed that we already are extremely established online. This is how we operate. So that conversation isn't changing. The other thing I would say too is I've always believed, and I didn't know why I believed it, but it was engraved in me to have multiple streams of income. Like if I look back on my career, I started working at the age of 15 at McDonald's, but I would do McDonald's and something else. When I was in corporate, I was working, intense corporate marketing and sales, but I was selling jet planes on the side. And, like now I'm building a company, Love Powered Co., but building USANA. Like I just believe wholeheartedly in being set up in multiple ways, because you never know when that one income stream is going to be taken away. And it can happen. I mean, so many people right now are experiencing job loss, and, even if it's just temporary, but it can be an extreme shock for a family, and it can cause extreme stress, and extreme stress leads to other things and health issues and so forth. So, having something online and having multiple sources of income, still wholeheartedly believe in. This convo hasn't changed since 2010. And I think this is why all of us are getting so loud on this conversation, especially right now, because the time is right now. We've been blessed with extra time. I know we're all much busier, especially moms, because we have kids at home, but using the time wisely, being intentional with our time, even if it's 30 minutes to do something that could eventually turn into something incredibly purposeful and lucrative is key in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point. And I think the important point of having the different opportunities and what is available out there. Elisa, there are a lot of different opportunities out there. There's a lot of opportunities in a lot of choices with direct selling. Yeah. So I'm curious, and I want you to expand a little bit more on why would you choose USANA over and over again?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so there's, I think, four. There could be many, but let's stick to four areas that I think for me became really evident as I was making a choice. I'm going to start with, Anna touched on business, but really when you look at businesses, and I've grown up with lots of entrepreneurs around me. My father was an entrepreneur. My husband's an entrepreneur. We have a huge circle of entrepreneurial friends. And hands down, as I laid the plans side by side, for me, it became pretty clear that the model I wanted to choose was one that would be very inclusive in creating wealth, not just in your bank account, but in your time, in your, in your relationships, how you're going to have really great relationships, also in your health. That was a big one for me. So as a business plan, and I mean, most of you know what franchising is, right? Like most of you know, if you had the opportunity maybe to, purchase or buy a Tim Hortons, or, name a really popular franchise wherever you are in the world. And that typically you're looking at a massive investment. It's not an option for a lot of people, right? So what's really cool about the online world is you can find legacy company like USANA that's been around 27 years, that has a phenomenal track record, that's public. So everything's transparent. Like, do the homework, go and look and see what's going on behind the scene. For me, these were really significant things. I haven't found a company that shows up the way USANA has for the last 27 years. It's phenomenal. It's mind-blowing. So seeing it as a vehicle is huge, as a huge gift in creating prosperity in all these areas, not just in one area, but in all the areas we're talking about, in your health, in your time, in your relationships, and the quality of your life. That's a big part of it. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is I'm really big on integrity and sharing something that I truly can full-heartedly feel I can trust and put my name behind. So when I looked into the quality, the standards, the founder, that was just unreal. So I want people to start asking these questions, because there's an awakening happening. Would you guys agree? Like, this pandemic has caused a huge wake up. And I think most of us are going to start to look at things that are like, who really supports the brands? Who's behind the brands? Who's the founder? Who's the visionary? And what's really the level of integrity? What's the standards they show up with? Some of these brands we all support and love are doing things I think if we took a deeper look at, probably would never support in our lives again. And this is a big awakening that's happening, right? So I'm going to encourage you, look into the most popular brands, whether it's Nike, whether it's Apple, really start to ask these questions. So for me, when I saw the quality, when it comes to health, I want the best. I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to compete. I'm not going to price compete or sell my health to the lowest bidder, or what's trending or what's hypey. I'm not interested in that. I want to see the real facts. I want to see the clinical data. I want to see the research. USANA, hands down, when it comes to the manufacturing practices, when it comes to their facility registrations and requirements, nobody meets those standards. I haven't come across it. It's been years and years and years of doing this homework. And just the third-party testing, knowing the founder is a true pioneer, double PhD, Albert Einstein Award winner in health sciences. Like, these are things we need to look into before we invest in our health and before we even put our money anywhere, I think, because it's really an integrity piece for me. And
Lisa,
I'm gonna work on that.
Again. I'm buying USANA again.
I'm going to work on that myself, because I think there's been brands I've supported that I think moving forward, I will never support again, based on what I've been learning in the past, month in this pandemic. A lot of eyes opening right now. So, that's a big part of it. And the fourth part, because I touched on, the business plan, the product quality, the founder, who's behind the vision and the creation. I think the fourth part would really be community. Shelly touched on that a bit too. And, USANA attracts a very high quality, high thinking, and I'm going to use that word, high thinking, because, we're thinking on a much, I think, on a different level of just what's the norm or what's the status quo or what's expected. So when I say like high quality, high thinking, humble, very service focused, very impact driven, people, community, and, that is a gift. Like, the group I get to be part of, the community that we all have access to, it's priceless. Not to mention the mentorship and the growth. Like, wow. So yeah, that's why, Lori, that's why I think we all chose USANA.
Yeah. I think community is a huge part, right? When you look at where you spend the majority of your time, it's with your family, but then it's at work. And so if you're creating something for yourself, you want to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. And I think when you look at who's on this with us, it's like-minded, empowered, very thoughtful. I completely agree from the community standpoint and the people that USANA attracts. Just high quality, incredibly talented, empowered individuals. Love that. As you talk about that, like we talk about you're spending time with your family, that's the priority for you guys. You have kids, you have fur babies, right? And Christa, you're raising 2 young boys. Yeah. And why is direct selling the best option for moms?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about this question because we were talking about it. And the thing is I've always been very ambitious, right? And I think if you think about it, we all have our own ambitions, right? We want to do great things. They're making so much noise upstairs. They're having a blast. And I think, when I became a mom, I was actually kind of torn. I was like I'm this ambitious woman, and now I'm a mom. Like, I didn't really know how the two could coexist, right? And that's actually the inspiration behind my podcast, Ambitious Mama, because I wrote down a few reasons why I think it's been so great and why I think every mom could consider this as an option. I think the first one is it gives us this really beautiful opportunity to live by example. So my boys have never heard me say, "Mommy has to go to work," right? They've always heard me say, I'm like, they see me excited to go to work. They see my vision board and they see my goals, and they'll say, "Well, Mommy, how are you going to do that?" And so, "Well, I'm going to help a lot of people get healthy, and I'm going to help a lot of people feel, empowered with a new plan for their family." And I think that's really cool. And like, they see me setting goals, and these are all things that are, they're watching me do. It's not just me telling them. So I think that's a great way to live by example for our children. I'll touch on mom guilt really quickly because I know that's a real thing. And I think the thing is that whenever we're taking time away from our children, we're like, oh, it's hard, right? So number one, I hope that when we're away from our children, we're doing something that we love. but also doing something that's going to make an impact. So I know that whenever I even spend an hour away from my boys, it's actually going towards something for our family that's not just to make ends meet, but to really to work on our legacy. And the legacy of that is of helping people to be healthy and to build a solid future for our family. So I feel really good about that. I love the flexibility, and the flexibility that's everything really, because well, both my husband and I are home and we build the business together. But the flexibility is really cool. And I could just say one example, like, we've had a few phone calls this past year of, from the office where someone scrapes themselves or gets hurt at recess. And both Mike and I can get in the car. We're like, we're coming, and we literally can just stop what we're doing. So that value of family first. I think every mom and dad would say what's like the family is everything. But sometimes our work situation doesn't actually allow us to prioritize it the same way. So our family is everything. And also it gives us the flexibility to prioritize that as number one. And then the lifestyle it's kind of just really incredible because, what my boys know as normal is not the norm, right? And I feel very blessed to have been able to show them really incredible opportunities. We've been able to have beautiful experiences as a family, including travel, but most importantly, just our day-to-day lifestyle is hopefully one that they'll really remember as us being there together.
I think that is so great. And you look at the values that you're teaching your children, not to mention the personal development and the growth that they're getting, because you've received that.
Oh yeah.
Part of this is part of direct selling. I mean, personal development is so big, and it's something, you talk about vision boards and setting goals, and you think about these life skills that your boys are going to have as part of having you be part of this industry and be that example to them. So I
remember Marcus, when he was 2 years old, he attended Tony Robbins. That's not too bad.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing when you look at the opportunities that each one of you that you've been able to give your children as being part of the direct selling industry. And so Natalie, you talked 17 years, right? 17 years with USANA. What keeps you motivated to keep building this business after 17 years?
That's a good question. And a lot of people are asking me that, actually. Well, the values are like, well, Elisa talked about the values, and the values of USANA are community, health, excellence, integrity. And I totally align with those values. And I have other values that I added to that. One of them is freedom. Freedom is really important to me, and contribution. And I find that this is filling my cup so much to have a vehicle where I can contribute to people. And I would say that one of the things that was making me the most unhappy when I was in corporate, because I was in an environment where it was very competitive. So the opposite with USANA is, well, my reality, what I'm living is the contribution, first of all, the community, but my ability to contribute to other people. And whether it is, when we say contribute, it can be, I find we're like solution providers, and whether it is, I don't know, offering to somebody that wants to be part of an uplifting community, offering the community aspect, that can be one. That can be helping as many people as we can to be healthier. It can be helping a mom at home to build this part-time income, this side hustle. I mean, there's so many ways we can contribute with USANA, and I think that's why I'm still there, and I'm going to be there for the rest of my life, because it's such a profound value for me. And another way I can contribute is through our USANA Foundation. that's so dear to my heart. And it's such an amazing foundation, and the flexibility of time has allowed us to be able to do service trip. I've done 3 service trips so far, and I want to do more and more. And even last night, Denis and I, we were having dinner, and I was like, you know what? We should put on our bucket list to like maybe do a service trip for 6 months, pack everything and just go help somewhere. And we were like so lit up by that idea. So there's so many ways to contribute with USANA. And yeah, I think that when what you do is totally aligned with your values, you never feel like you're working, you never feel, you're just, you feel fulfilled. So that's why I'm still here.
I love that. I love, it's such purpose driven. I know that you guys you've had the opportunity to serve with the foundation down in Mexico, take your team down and do your own team service trip. And so that's so beautiful. I think the purpose of being able to not only help individuals, but also be able to give back is so, it's fulfilling. And it's something that I think, you can see all of you have that in common, of just being able to give back to others and to serve others and to make this, community in this world a better place. So I really love that. As you look at the world, we talked about it, it's changed. It's obviously changing right now as well. And Shelley, you've been you've built in person before business was on social media, and you've been very successful in building on social media as well. And so why is right now a great time for everyone to use social media and leverage and build an online business?
Yeah, it really is a great time. I truly believe that being present on social media gives you a chance to be a positive influence on people, and it's an opportunity to just I guess like put positivity in people's lives, right? So there's so many people scrolling through social media these days looking for updates and who's doing what and what's going on, and we get stuck in this like scroll. And one of the things that I think is really important right now is that we position ourselves in a place of, just serving those people who follow us with positive messages, positive like information, uplifting things that make them feel better and, feel warm and fuzzy inside, and just create a nice place for people to be, because I feel like we can get so consumed with the negative stuff that's there. And right now, being on social media is a great opportunity to share your sunny side. Okay, like and really share what makes you happy. Share, all this personal development that we've been doing. Like we have years under our belts of personal development, and so just to give a tiny taste of it to our followers is doing of service to them. You know what I mean? So being on social media, it's not about like selling. It's not about being that salesperson. It's really about being in a place of service. And right now, I think that people are really looking for positive messaging, and they're looking for things that are uplifting. And so it's an opportunity for people to fill that space with like, beautiful messages and things that make people feel warm and fuzzy inside. And building a business on social media, I mean, I don't even want to say social media because I think it's online in general. And going back to the community again, like, all of us here have been doing so many amazing online events through Zoom and I mean, these Facebook Lives, and they have been packed with hundreds and hundreds of people. And the collaboration that's going on right now, and all of us supporting each other's businesses when it doesn't affect each other, is really, it says a lot, right? Like we're all kind of coming together with this community to show up online in such a positive way to just inspire and educate people the best way that we possibly can. So I think people kind of have to look at it like, we can all be an influencer, we can all be of influence, and I encourage people to be a positive influence and, to share things that will really make people feel better in the situation that's kind of happening right now. Yeah, I think that's why. Like, I think everybody's on social media. So if you can be on social media and be on social media in a really good place, people will really love your messaging and they'll love to follow you, and they develop that connection and that trust. And, you know, they'll go follow what you have to say if you continuously, you know, feed them those positive messages.
Yeah, I love that, Shelley. Because you've done such a great job. I mean, you have all done a great job of pouring into others, right? You've received all of this great personal development, and so you've paid it forward almost, and just continuing to share your knowledge, your experience, that personal development with others. And I love the sunny side, right? Like that light for others. And so we are all influencers. You know, people are watching you and you are influential, regardless if you have one follower or whether you have thousands of followers. You are influencing others with recommendations every single day, sharing things that you love. So very good. You guys, this has it's been quite honestly just beautiful. It's so energetic to be able to spend time and connect with you guys and to share your knowledge and your experience with everyone. Are there any closing thoughts that you guys have that you'd like to finish this up with?
Okay, I'll start. So I have two. The first one is I started with this is just take this time, take this opportunity to get clear. I think it truly is a gift. And the other thing is we have so many things happening online. So if this conversation really sparked your interest, check our feeds, you know, pay attention to what's happening. We actually have an online event happening on Saturday at 8 p.m. hosted by Elisa. It's going to be Vision and Vino and Vision. So, you know, connect with this community and join us online and feel inspired and feel the energy yourself, because it truly is powerful.
Yes, absolutely. Nat, I have to steal your words. it was the best yes ever, right? Like, you know, it's just a whole body yes. And I think when all of us started taking the products and started, looking at this as a business opportunity, we didn't really know what we were doing, but the thing is, it was wholeheartedly the best yes we made for our family and for our future. So in the words of one of my dear friends, Andre Gordon, he says, what's the best that could happen? Rather than saying what's the worst that could happen, what's the best that could happen? And the best is you'll get healthy, you'll be around amazing, positive people, and maybe there's a business opportunity here for you too.
Elisa.
Sure. I can leave you with two things, probably similar to whatever everyone else is saying. But one, I think this is a great time to reflect on how you can step into a place where you can create your own opportunities. Sorry for the background noise. Create your own opportunities, new opportunities. And if you're feeling a bit of, that, I don't want to say just fear, but in times like this, we can really shrink, or we can feel kind of a constriction happening based on the circumstances. But instead, I want to encourage you to expand. I want to encourage you to use the fear maybe for fuel. And that's what I think a lot of us have done. We've really been able to take uncertainty and adversity and shift it from a place of ingenuity to possibility and courage and absolutely new opportunities. So we're really excited for where we're heading, because I think this has really been a time where we've had a chance to reflect, become more aware on how we can even serve on a bigger scale. And we want to invite you, come and join us Saturday. Actually, can I share my screen for a quick second?
Sure.
Here's the visual. Can you guys see that? So come and join us. We're doing a bit of soul care. It's times like this where we want to shift from that shrinking effect to expanding. There definitely will be a new norm, as Anna was saying. I think we've kind of all embraced the new economy years and years before this situation. But we're excited because we're going to walk you through a lot of cool things, a two-step vision crafting process. And you're going to, no matter what, feel inspired, renewed. You'll create a beautiful e-board that you can use as a wallpaper, as a backdrop, or print it, frame it. Visuals are so powerful when you need to shift. So join us. It's totally free. It'll be fun. It's an incredible community. Grab a glass of wine or a green smoothie or a cup of tea, whatever makes your soul feel good, and join us Saturday at 8 p.m. Sorry, I think I've said enough. Sorry, let me stop.
I love that. Very good. Shelley or Natalie, do you have anything that you want to add?
I'll add, I'm really in this like mindset of using this time to create healthy habits that we'll be proud of once it's all over. So I'm watching a lot of people who are binge watching Netflix, and they're drinking a lot, and they're like daily consumption, and they're creating habits. Like it takes 3 weeks to really create a solid habit. And so we don't know how long this is going to be. And I think it's a really great opportunity for us to not treat it as like a little vacation, but treat it as a time, like a blessed moment to create some really, really empowering healthy habits in our life. And so this is actually something that I would consider a healthy habit. I feel like these women in this community and the support and the events, they've all just been so uplifting, and it's really pulled me away from all the fear and the negativity, and it's kept me in a really positive mindset, in a really positive place. And I just feel like learning how to do something like this when you have a little bit of extra time and you have so many like resources pouring into you, you can really create a healthy habit out of this that is going to be so easy to translate into real life when real life comes back again, because it is going to come back. So using this time to create healthy habits, and to me this would be a healthy habit. It would definitely be on that list of filling your soul and doing all this like great work of surrounding yourself with positive, inspiring people who just lift you up and pull you away from that fear. So that's my closing thought.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think right now is a perfect opportunity and time to create those healthy habits. Really evaluate 1 or 2 things that you want to shift. I mean, right now is a perfect opportunity. I love that.
I would add, although this was like amazing, I would add, if you're looking at this right now, I want to share that we all had our day one. We all made a decision one day. We all said yes one day. We had our ups and downs, but we kept hustling. And right now, for me, like Shelly, you're talking about getting into healthier habits. Right now, for me, the fact that we're going totally online because of the current situation, for me, it's not my comfort zone. So whoever is watching this and they're like looking and, oh yeah, these girls, they all like they're doing it online and all of that. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm learning a lot, and I've decided that this time would be where I would learn so much online. And why I can do it, it's because I'm part of this amazing community. I'm with Christa every day doing the power hour. Like every challenge, I take it. Even being here today, like I don't usually do that. I'm the senior in the gang, let's say. So like,
you're a hot senior.
But if I can do it, my message is anybody can do it. It's a skill, we can learn it. It's a new language, but it's all about creating a relationship, building relationship. And if we can do that in our life, we can do it online for sure. And I'm going to get out of this period and I'm going to be a queen online. And that's my commitment to you guys.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You look at the intention, the collaboration, the mindset, and as Shelley just talked about, Elisa's hosting a soul evening for you to be able to be poured in by each other. And so I want to encourage you to follow these ladies. They all have great social presence, and they have so many great areas for events for you to plug into. Scrub and Sips and Rosé Q&A. And then you've got vision boarding this Saturday. I mean, what a great community to belong to. And so really follow them and plug in, right? We all need to plug in right now. Just like you would your cell phone, every single night, you need to plug in yourself, especially those mamas that are trying to homeschool and do it all. Take some self-care and join these beautiful ladies in what they're creating and what they're doing. And there's so many great events to be plugging into with what they're doing. So thanks so much, you guys. This was so great.
Thank you, Lori.
What a special time to be able to spend with all of you. I just appreciate and value, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So
We're
thank you,
grateful for
Lori.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Laurie.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Saturday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.